Main
These are bullets all day long. They got the Knight of Pentacles, the Strength. He shot himself. There's the
family attorney says the 23-year-old died from a gunshot wound to the head, and the manner of death was suicide.
I don't
This
know what he
comes
used.
one
I know it's a rope involved. I don't know what he used that rope for. Let me see. The secrets. He's taking the secrets with him. You see the secrets? He's not giving y'all the information. Says y'all don't need to know it. You know? He'll go out with the secrets with the high priest there. He might be found on a Wednesday too. Ace of Wands. So I have no doubt in my mind they're gonna find Brian Laundrie, October 2021. I'm telling you, he's still.
Hello, my loves. It's TTMG, the Tarot Medium Goddess here. Thank you so much for being here. Please do stop what you're doing and like this video. Go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to tell me what you think about what happened in this case in the comments below. And do show your girl some love and share the video. I appreciate every single one of you. It's true. I love you, boo. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Let me go to the chat. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties. Everything is frozen on my side, guys. Everything. I don't know if you can hear me, but let's see. I'm gonna wait a second. Let's see if we could get this together. All right, let me go on my phone and type in because my laptop wants to have a problem here. So we're gonna go to. Okay, somebody text me. We can hear you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So this is going to be short and sweet. Usually I'm long-winded. Thank you guys so much for being here. So about last night, that live last night, right? On the live, if you were not here, we had, and let me get this on screen. We had Nicole Marie and Crystal, who have been very much big players in the case of Michael Monkey Vaughan, right? And they were kind enough to be on the panel and interview with me. And for everybody else who was on the live, I'm trying to bring it up real quick. You know what? I'm not going to because I'm having too much technical problems right now. But you can, well, here it is. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Everything is going slow-mo here. Let's see. All right. I'm going to try to present it to you in a little bit if it comes up. Anyway, I'm just not going to put that on the screen because we're having technical difficulties. But if you guys were here last night, you know, and you can check my live from March 17th, 2022. It was a 5-hour live with key players in this case who have invested a lot of their time, energy, love, and everything to find Monkey, you know. And once again, that was Nicole Marie and Crystal, who were confidants of and people who, especially Crystal, who spoke to Brandi Neal on a daily basis. And Nicole was very close to, and is very close to, or has communicated very closely with the nanny, right? And the nanny Jennifer was on the live as well. So I thank you guys all for coming out and for being there and being on the panel. So anyway, it was a 5-hour live, and a bunch of red flags came up in the case, right? And once again, I'm not here to truly criticize Brandi Neal in any way. It's just like we said, we can't help but to see there's some things that need some attention here. And when you have a missing child, it's of great importance that certain things are called out in order to receive justice for the child, because the whole case is it revolves around the child, right, and not the parent. Although the parent may be going through some heartache, but the justice we want to seek is for that child and to bring them home. If you go ahead, and I'm going to link it in this description box later on today. So if you're watching it after and you want to see exactly what interview I'm talking about, I will have it linked in the description box probably in the next hour. And I also will have it as end shots of this live. But anyhow, I woke up. I think the live ended, I don't know if it ended around midnight. It was really late, or 1 a.m. But it was about 4. I woke up around 7 or so, and I saw that 3 hours prior, which would have been around 4 hours, 4 o'clock in the morning, Brandi commented on the live. However, when I went to the or on that video, when I went to the comments, she had already deleted it. But this is what it says. I don't know if you can see it right here. She stated, she didn't spell the word you right. She didn't spell the word. I'm not coming for you, Brandi, but you were coming for me, honey. You were coming for me. And we were just bringing up red flags during this live, asking questions, right? We wanted some type of transparency. But you're not spelling you right, and you telling me that I'm spelling Michael wrong. It says right here, Brandi Neal commented, "You could spell Michael's name correctly, please," with an exclamation mark. So now she's yelling at me. Why are you yelling at me? What are you so upset about, Brandi? Huh? What's the fuss and the ruckus about? Number one, I spelled his name correctly. Number two, Michael's, how you have it spelled here, honey, it says Michael's, there's no apostrophe S. This should be an apostrophe S, meaning it belongs to Michael. Michael's name is something that belongs to him, right? So that should be apostrophe S, okay? And not just an X, not just an S that follows the name Michael. It should be apostrophe S. So before you come at me, once again, no hard feelings, Brandi, but before you come at me for spelling his name wrong, try spelling his name correctly. I'm 110% positive. I'm a gazillion% positive that I spelled your handsome little son's name correctly. You know why? You know why? Because I have a cousin who I grew up with, and out of probably 400, 500 cousins, he was my favorite cousin in the world. And he lost his life. Someone took his life in 2007, and his name was Michael, right? And I was the one that wrote everything. I'm the one that constantly wrote his name over and over, whether it's in rest in peace posts, whether it was for a funeral program. So I'm pretty much an expert at writing the name Michael down, right? And of course, you guys call him Monkey. So in parentheses, I have the word monkey, which most people do, and his last name Vaughan, which is spelled correctly. Okay. When I first heard of the case months ago, I made sure that I was spelling the last name correctly, and that it was spelled with A in between the H and the S, which sometimes people don't do, right? But the reason you had to go ahead and delete your comment is because you realized that I did spell his name correctly. I actually did. I have not changed that thumbnail that has his name written in it. And I have not changed the comment, the title, or the subject line. The only thing I added to the subject line is that the nanny pops in on the live. That's the only thing I changed. I did not change the spelling of the name. That name is a very, very important to me, right? That name pierces my heart because I have a family member who was deceased by that name, who has touched my life like nobody ever has before. Therefore, I know it's impossible for me to spell that name wrong. But Brandi, honey, once again, I'm not knocking you. I'm just telling you that before, instead of worrying about how somebody spelled your son's name, even if I did spell it wrong, which I did not spell it incorrectly, you're spelling it incorrectly right here. Okay, you're even spelling the word you incorrectly, right? So before you come for me, check yourself. All right, and instead of worrying about that, the number one thing you should have been worrying about are all the red flags. Go back to the interview and watch the interview from yesterday. I will put it in the description box in about another hour or so, or maybe less. Watch the live from yesterday and look at all the red flags that pop up for you and Tyler. Not saying you're involved in his disappearance, but it looks like you may know what happened to him. It just looks like that right now, right? I haven't even pulled any psychic energy. And if you see the energy that I have pulled in previous readings, and if you check my playlist, I'm probably not the one that you want pulling the energy on Michael like that. And I'm trying to abstain from it. So it's probably some things in there that you might not want coming out. And I say this only because there are some red flags. There are some signs of deception. We heard where you lied to Chris McDonough, you know, and all of that is called out during the live yesterday. And it's no denying that. So instead of you worrying about how I spell Michael's name, which is correct, unlike the way you spelled his name, I would highly suggest you worry about getting an Amber Alert on Michael. That's the number one thing that you could do right now. And it's the number one thing you should have done months ago. I mean, it's more than that, actually. But if I were to bring up one thing, and I'm only going to do it for this, I'm going to do it for this live because I don't want to go on and on and on and on. Too many red flags there. We'll be here all night. So the one thing alone is for you as the mother of Michael Monkey Vaughan, right? His middle name is Joseph, I believe, right? Michael Joseph. I know his name. I know his name, honey. And I have not pulled it up any time recently. I just know his name. So instead of you worried about how someone spells his name, even if it was incorrect, worry about why you have not gotten an Amber Alert out on him or a Silver Alert out on him, which would have been extremely easy to do, and why is Nicole and Crystal pushing for it and having to go through loops to get it done and doing everything that they possibly can do to get it done when you can just sign a piece of paper, do whatever, and it's done in an instant. Huh? Some red flags going up, Brandi. Not saying you're involved. I'm saying there's some red flags there, and we need some explanations. If you're going to call me out, I'm going to call you out. And then you wind up deleting the message, but see, it was already in my notifications that 3 hours prior to 7:14 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, March 18th, 2022, you left this message with your incorrect spelling of the word you and the word, his name's not Michaels, all right? Once again, it's not Michaels, it's Michael. That should be an apostrophe S. So if you can dish it, then you can take it, honey. Let me go to the comments real quick. Real quickly. Thank you all for being here. All right, I'm glad you guys can hear me now. I'm so sorry for all the technical difficulties. All right, great. The right reasons, yes. It was a great live. Thanks, y'all. Yes, it was. Thank you guys so much. That one is Chatty Cathy. Chatty Cathy. Okay. Got it. I had to finish listening today. Oh, it was so long, Tracy. Blessings for you if you could listen to that all the way through or even in segments. Mallory's raising red flags. And Mallory stated that she saw red flags from the very beginning, which a lot of people, you know, we didn't really see that. But a lot of you have. And I wasn't quick on picking it up with her at all. But maybe it's because I was deep into the Summer Wells case, you know. Hey, Raptor, am I saying it right? Reporter 55. She probably doesn't even remember. You guys say she got drunk. She might have did a drunk post. I know sometimes people do that. They drunk post and they wake up in the morning like, what did I do? Or maybe she realized I spelled his name right. A period and an exclamation mark. I know. I saw that too. I didn't even call that out, Bonnie. You noticed that? I'm glad you saw that. Yeah. And like I said, I don't want to be real negative because I'm not trying to come to Brandi with the negative energy. And just because I'm questioning things and my radar detectors are up, my antennas are up, doesn't mean that like I don't want to. I just want answers. That's all we want. We want answers. We want truth. That's it. And if she can supply us with it, it'll go a lot better. Mallory says Michael. Yes, exactly. I know how to spell Michael. Michael. Exactly. And you know what? In my tags, when I did my Facebook YouTube tags, in the tag spot, I wrote how people often misspell the name Michael. And I wrote it, and she can't see that. She couldn't see that. But I know, like, if somebody types it wrong in the search engine, but I know how to write the name Michael. That name is too dear to my heart. Period, boo. Period. Okay. The right reasons. Yes. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the Right Reasons page. I don't know if Mallory has the link, but well, I'll try to get that up later too. Hi, Tracy. Just got on. What happened? Hey, Jeep girl. You're probably caught up by now, but basically, Brandi was schooling me last night. Well, when I woke up, 7:00 in the morning, I saw she wrote 4:00 in the morning. She commented on the video that we did last night on the interview. She commented on that video and stated that I need to spell Michael's name right. First of all, his name was spelled right. It was 100% correct, Jeep girl. I am all too familiar with the name Michael, okay? It was spelled right on the thumbnail and in the description box as well. All right? I'm positive of that. I even looked at it like 3 times each to make sure that, I had it correct, which I did. And she's worrying about the spelling of his name, which she misspelled it just now because she didn't put her apostrophe before the S. And she's not worried about getting an Amber Alert. It just doesn't add up. Listen, Brandi, it's starting to be like the Wells here. You're starting to be like Candace White. Things are starting not to add up all of a sudden. I wanted to add up. Help us add it up, please. And if she comes to the chat, guys, y'all don't even block her. Don't even block her. Let her say her piece. I'm sure she'll see it. She knows this is on. I feel her watching right now. I feel you, Brandi. Did Brandi make a comment to her about spelling of his name? Yes, Jeep girl. And I spelled it right. That's the thing. My cousin who was murdered's name is Michael, and I wrote it over 1,000,001 times since 2007. I know exactly how to spell the name. That's drunk. Reporter 55 says that's drunk o'clock, and she thinks this is the Brandi show. Yes, yep. Hashtagging Brandi. Let's hashtag Michael Vaughan. It was great. I'm glad you guys liked it. I hope to do many more interviews in the future. Mallory Young says, I know I'm doing one with the Millbrook twin sister. So I was supposed to do that a couple weeks back, but I'm going to get to it. I Can't Deal says, great live last night. I'm glad you enjoyed. And we probably could have went on more, but I think we all started to get tired. Everyone did. MJ says, you need to look into the process of getting the Amber Alert. That information is absolutely inaccurate that you just shared. It is not just about signing a piece of paper. No, they shared, MJ. It's not inaccurate what I just shared. Maybe I said it wrong during this live, but it was clearly stated during the interview that I had yesterday with Nicole Marie and Crystal. They explained exactly what is needed for the Amber Alert and how easy it was for Nicole to get it. See, you would have had to be on that live to hear that, right? And not for Nicole to get it, I'm sorry, for Brandi to get it. And she did not do what it takes. There is no Amber Alert out there, MJ, because she's not doing what it takes. That she's not getting it. She doesn't want it. If you were on the interview last night, if you were there during the live, you would understand. Once again, I may not be explaining it right, but it was pretty simple, the breakdown of the process that is needed. I had both the people that spoke to law enforcement on a daily basis, almost, on a continuous basis. All right, most definitely a weekly basis, and said the procedure that's needed. Brandi refused to do it. So Crystal is taking up upon herself to do what's needed to do it. And however, the process that Crystal has to take, because she's not the mother, is much more detailed and it takes longer. Where Brandi can do it at the snap of a wrist. Okay, it's a difference. Trust me. We did 5 hours on this yesterday, MJ. And I'm not being smart. My voice travels. I'm from I'm originally from Jersey and I live out in Pennsylvania. So I'm like Molly Go Lightly, we get a little bit louder. Voice kind of travels. Tammy Cook says, and especially if you're passionate about something. Like I said, she has a little bit more drama to it though. Tammy Cook says, I wasn't feeling her from the get-go. Yeah, there's some people that their antennas have been up since day one. I just was happy she was giving us more than every other parent was giving us, it looked like, in the past year, more than Corey Bigsby, Cody's dad, more than Trezell and Jacqueline West. She gave us more than all. She has given us more of the, what do we call it? I don't know, the act, quote unquote, than, and I could call it this. If she's on my page, looking at the live and she's commenting on the spelling of Michael's name instead of worrying about how come she didn't push the Amber Alert out there when she could easily have done it, right? And all these red flags are going up, then there's a problem, because where's your priority at? Okay. All right. So Mallory says, yes, I'm down that rabbit hole too. And I do respect your opinions if it even differs from mine, guys. So don't worry about that. Just as long as we can talk respectfully here. MJ says, law enforcement requested the Amber Alert twice and it was denied. I had people on the panel yesterday that spoke clearly. I don't remember all the details on it, MJ, but it was pretty much an easy process. Okay, a lot easier than you think. She's not involved in the process at all. She's not doing it. This is the thing. She is not initiating it be done at all. That was all explained. We have 5 hours of detail, in-depth detail, and a lot of knowledge. So I think you really should, I don't know. I don't know if I could go back and watch 5 Hour Live myself, but I mean, if you want to know the nitty gritty of it, it gets down during that live. The Right Reason says, this is similar to CW's behavior. So Candace Wells in the beginning, if anyone remembers. I have to, I know a lot of people are saying, I know you said that. I really have to pay attention. And if you do want to get on a panel, you're always welcome to. Anybody, let me share this invite just in case. I'll share it at the bottom. There's stuff that I missed. I honestly missed in this case with Michael Vaughan. Intuitive and all, I missed it. But I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't head deep in this like I was Summer Wells. So another reason. It's just so many kids out there that are going through this. MJ says, maybe you should check the background of the babysitter and you will see that she lost her children to the state before you start talking red flags. Okay. What does that have anything to, the babysitter was on the live yesterday. Nobody delete MJ's comment because we could, we can have this conversation. Maybe you should check the background of the babysitter and you will see that she lost her children. Some people go through that, unfortunately. And I'm not here to kind of judge them. I don't know about the situation and it's not time for me to get details on the situation. I know if there was further investigation needed on the nanny, then yeah, right? But law enforcement had not gotten any red flags on her, and I'm pretty sure she's been cleared. I'm almost positive that she's been cleared, right? But yet in the Brandi, the case of Brandi, she has not been cleared. Tyler has not been cleared. Why, MJ? They've been read their Miranda rights, MJ. Why were they read their Miranda rights? Nope, that is not, because Nicole and Crystal actually had the recording from law enforcement where they stated specifically, no, that is not standard procedure. We heard it live here last night. The link will be in the description box later. All right. They said that is not standard procedure at all. And they said the different times that that can happen. And one of the times is when a person, they feel a person may be in a case, a trial in the future, and they may be in a trial as a suspect, right? Why did months have to pass? What was it? Probably almost about 7 months or so before they were read their Miranda rights. Why wasn't it read from day one if that's the case? Now, Tyler, he felt his lie detector twice, right? During the Chris McDonough, which I played the tape yesterday, Chris McDonough asked prior to the interview, how did the polygraph test go with Tyler? And she said, well, the first one he failed, right? She said the first one he failed. And she said the second one, they said, oh, you don't have to come back again. You know, so he asked her, did he pass it? She said, yeah. He rephrases it and it basically asked her the same thing. So you're telling me they said that he passed the test, and she said, well, you know, so the answer was was no. So there was deception there. Why was the deception there, MJ? Why was there deception there? Why did she lie when it was clear that he didn't pass that second lie detector test? Answer that for me, buddy. All right. So anyway, not being smart, we can debate this, you know, rationally, but I'm just throwing it out. And why are we worrying about the red flags that's coming up with the nanny before we're worrying about the who's been cleared, when we're not worried about the red flags that are coming up from the parents who have not been cleared? Just a question. And why are we worried about not? And you know, also during the live, it was also discussed that there's countless recordings that were brought up where it was major red flags, where the recordings are so sensitive that they will never be released to the public. It's just been released to the FBI. What I say the best thing to do in this case is just keep an open mind, MJ. I'm not saying to nail Brandi to the cross or nail Tyler to the cross. I'm not even saying that they did it or whatever. But what it feels like to me, and we need to go off facts, yes. But Chris McDonough speaks on this a lot, guilty knowledge. And he's finding guilty knowledge all around the Summer Wells case, all around Candace Bly, that she has guilty knowledge, right? They spent hours and hours dissecting it, that she has guilty knowledge. Well, with all the red flags that came up in last night's live, you can see all the red flags going up through the comments. It seems like there's some type of guilty knowledge there, not guilty as if she, you know, did something to her son, or maybe Tyler did something to his son, even though, you know, it's anything is anything at this point, but guilty knowledge as far as knowing more than they're saying, a lot more. And once again, this isn't to nail either one of them to the cross. It's not to crucify them. It's just saying that it's more to it than you know, and the importance of those things that are not transparent is what is needed to be open in order to solve the case, because we're supposed to be Team Monkey here. Team Monkey 100% all the way. No holds barred. Sorry, I go on sometimes, guys. JLo5 says maybe she's not calling for an Amber Alert because she knows she can be charged for falsely calling one when the truth comes out. Wow. Wow, that's a good thing to think about, guys. Whether you say it so, you believe that's why she did it, or you don't believe that's why she did it. This is something, this is a statement you want to pay attention to and remember, and just don't charge Brandi with it, but just keep it to the back of your mind, right? As a possibility. There's nothing wrong with doing that. MJ says, there is an entire group of citizens that are pushing Idaho congressmen to investigate Idaho State Police decision to deny the Amber Alert, including the family. You are misinformed. All right, do I have Crystal and Nicole here? And if you have time to come up and ask, explain how Brandi was given the opportunity and has the opportunity to push for that Amber Alert, I would greatly appreciate it, because this was already discussed yesterday, but I do have a lot on my mind. That was a 5-hour live, and I can't remember the specifics, but we did go over that. And I wouldn't call it misinformation at all. It was something that was discussed. And tell me this, why are people who are not Brandi pushing? Like, say, for instance, it wasn't something that Brandi could do at the snap of the wrist. Like I'm saying it is, right? Let's say it's something that couldn't be done at the snap of the wrist. Well, how come the people who are doing it right now, Crystal and Brandi, who are involved in it, or one of the two are involved in that, how come it's them doing it and not Brandi? How come it's them pushing for it and not Tyler? Red flag. Red flag. No matter what way you look at it, that's a red flag. So it's not misinformation. Why would somebody whose child, if it's my child, don't have anybody out there going pushing for something more than the mom, than me? If I'm mother to that child, of course I appreciate all the help and support, but I want to be the one that's giving it my all. And she also has been given advice by them both that can give this case the look that it needs, the exposure that it needs, and for them to get closer to finding Monkey. But she hasn't followed the advice that's given, and it's all for a reason. Okay, it's countless. Listen, MJ, there's countless recordings. Somebody's texting me. Hold on. No, thank you. All right. I didn't know if this had to do with the live, so it doesn't. So I'll get back to that text later. But so I hear what you're saying, MJ. But like I said, there are people that's working on it, and it's not Brandi. She's not pushing for it at all. This was already discussed yesterday. I will not say that it's misinformation. I say it would be misinformation not to listen to what they say before commenting on this, because I don't feel like you're seeing the whole picture. Millennial says, MJ Alexander, I thought the paperwork was to appeal the denial. MJ says, you are misinformed on the Amber Alert. All right, MJ Reason says, MJ, there's no reason you should have access to anything regarding anyone's minor children. Do you? Dixie says, have you done a read on Michael? I would love to know if he is alive or not. You know what? I started to do that yesterday, and I felt a certain way about it. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't, because all these cases have really hit me hard, right? The case that I read about early this morning, Tristan, I saw that he was going to be found alive, and I went on live immediately and told you guys, yo, this little boy, this 11-year-old, he's about to be found alive. And sure enough, right before I did Brandi's this live right here, I saw that he was found alive. Thank God. But I don't know. I don't feel like, in a way, I'm kind of ready to tap in on that energy on Michael Vaughan for some reason. But I want to see where he's located. What I think I'm going to try to do is I'll do a reading and tap in on the energy of around the location he could be found, whether alive or dead, whether alive or deceased. So either way, there's hope there, For some reason, I'm not feeling reading whether or not he's alive or deceased. I mean, it might come out in the cards and I might see it, but I might not call it out during the reading because I'm like, the things just, for some reason, I think in this particular case, certain things are meant to play out a certain way. And now I told you guys all day long, Summer Wells, she's not here anymore. That's what I'm getting spiritually. But like I said, if I'm the parent of a missing child, nobody, even though I know how connected I am, you never give up hope on finding your child alive. That's just my take on things, regardless of what I see, and no matter how accurate I could be. Mallory, subscribe to The Right Reasons. Mallory dropped the link. There you go, guys. That's Nicole Marie's channel, The Right Reasons. And she is a key player in this case. MJ Alexander says, Millennial Phoenix, I know matter-of-factly there is an entire group of citizens, including the family, that are pushing to have the congressman look into it. I have the email from ISP on why they denied. MJ, can you answer me this question, though, if we get off of, because I don't have them on the panel right now to better explain it than me. It was explained in detail yesterday, right? But can I ask you what's the excuse for Brandi stating that there's only one way on the property and there's only one way off the property, or not on the property, but in the development, and there's only one way out of the development when there were multiple, there was more than one? What about that red flag? What's the answer for that? Because if I have a missing child, listen, every access that I can possibly tell you, every access that I could possibly conceive, I'm going to bring that up. The Right Reason says, MJ Alexander, do you have access to, have you viewed documentation regarding the nanny's children? MJ says access to. Yep, for sure. Yeah, guys, please do like, because I have been partially shadow banned for a couple months now, few months now. So it affects my views tremendously. But if you guys don't underestimate what that light could do, it could do a lot. And I know I'm pushing my way out of this partial shadow ban. If I wasn't partially shadow banned, it would be a lot, even more here right now. But that's okay. I'm gonna break that glass ceiling again, and we're gonna get through this. I'm just appreciative of all of those who are here now. MJ says, The Right Reasons, hey, why don't you go on the Idaho courts and look her up, and you will see right there that she lost her children to the state. It's public record. I have no private records. Okay, that's something, that's something to look into. Moxie says, the nanny's background. Oh, here's Nicole. We have the beautiful Nicole Marie on live with us. Hey, Nicole. Can you hear me? I can't hear you yet.
What about now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so just a couple things. Number one, I was just sitting here thinking that I don't know why we are harping on the nanny's background when, number one, I saw a couple people bring it up in the chat that, they knew her prior to having her watch their children. I don't believe that they didn't know what happened. And regardless, they allowed a person to watch their children. They should have looked into it if they didn't. But again, I'm not convinced that they didn't know about her background, seeing as how, I mean, if we're being totally honest, they're friends with sex offenders on Facebook and in the neighborhood. And when it was brought to their attention that they were, my first reaction would have been get on there and get rid of it. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I don't do background checks to all my friends, but it's brought to your attention and nothing has changed. I think it says a lot. So I'm really not interested. I'm really not interested in hearing about the nanny's background when those are records that we don't have access to. So unless
Right.
the nanny wanted to show us exactly what they said, all we can see in the Idaho court system is that there was child support ordered on children in foster care. You, and by you, I mean the people that keep bringing this up. I would be willing to bet have no idea what kind of relationship she has or doesn't have with her children. So I think instead of once again deflecting attention from where it belongs, which is Michael and his life and his home circumstances, um, we should get off the nanny. It's not
I
about the
agree.
nanny. It just is absolutely, it's it's pitiful, really. It's pitiful deflection. I'm really over it. So moving on from that, I saw where they were saying MJ specifically, who I would love to speak to on panel, but I have a feeling once again that their voice is probably distinguishable and we'll never hear them, just like Ivana. Um, but
I had the same feeling. Go ahead.
but it says that there's an entire group of citizens that are pushing for an Amber Alert. Where's the link? I would love to join. I would love to be a part of that. I would love to read up on it, and I would love to do whatever I can and get a hold of whoever I have to, because I have yet to see that. So if MJ can share what we can look up to find it. I don't know if they're on Facebook or whatever. Um, but it's real easy to say that you're doing something with absolutely no uh I don't want to say proof, but where's the link? Where's the group? How do I sign up?
Exactly. Exactly. MJ, we would love to have you join us on the panel. I just shared the link below. So all you have to do is press the button. You can also come in off of video mode. So feel free to share your thoughts with us. It'll go a lot smoother if you're able to join the panel.
I clicked on participants, and I don't know if that shows me all of them, but both MJ and Ivana are gone. And that was after my comment about um what's good for the goose and them knowing what um goes on inside Brandy's house to be talking about anybody else. Um, I think everyone should tread very lightly, because no one, uh, either people that are aware um, of Michael's life are complicit in the deflection and cover up and lies, or they're unaware and should just sit down, because in time we will find out what happened with Michael and where he is. And I don't expect anybody will have anything to say at that point.
I
It
don't
is,
expect that
it
either.
is, it is an active and ongoing criminal investigation. It needs to be kept in mind.
Right.
So
I
I'm
agree.
sorry. I cannot believe it. It's absolutely infuriating. And then to not come up um, to,
Yeah, there's some red flags with that, with not coming up and saying your piece. We
oh,
we
absolutely.
we're here to listen. Where are you?
If you're that passionate about something, there should be absolutely nothing from keeping you from coming up. And I mean, we don't even have to see your face.
Right.
So it's once again another
Of
excuse.
there's a lot of channels that don't allow that. Is once you disagree with what they have going on, then they'll go ahead, or what they're saying, they'll go ahead and block you. They'll delete your comment. You're
Absolutely.
hidden here, but I'm not doing that. As long as you respect the people in the chat, the people on the panel, then I don't feel there's a reason to block you. You're entitled to have a different opinion than us. But if
I
you,
I
Mhm.
can take it. Um, I can take whatever anybody has to say. Can Brandi? Can Tyler?
And there's a reason why they can't.
Accountability. Take accountability.
Right. Take accountability. Um, I'm going to go down the list of questions. Are you going to stay with me on panel until I get to the end, or?
I can for a little bit, yeah.
All right. It's not going to be long like last night, of course. All right. So MJ says the right reasons. Hey, why don't you go? Okay, we read that. Moxie says the nanny's background doesn't change what words came out of Brandi's mouth. True.
Absolutely.
True. And true indeed. No matter what it is. True. And the right reason says you have access to the records of minor children. Hate to tell you that, but it's incredibly illegal. MJ, Idaho courts reference child support to children in foster. You don't know why. So you don't know why, MJ. Thank you so much for joining me as well again, Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said, or do you? Okay. And then Dixie says, please smash the subscribe and like button. Yes. Thank you so much, Dixie. Cashy says, we just want the truth about where Michael is. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't. Yeah. Brandi is the person that I have been the lightest on in this case, because I said from my standpoint and me looking into other cases more, she seemed to be genuine, But when Crystal and Nicole brought up the red flags, they raised my antenna, right? So now I really want to know the truth and get to the bottom of this, and it's nothing wrong with that. If we're here for Monkey, that is. All right. So MJ says, no matter what it is, she lost her children for abuse. Why are you here stabbing MJ? MJ, whether she lost her children, guess what? People know where her children are. We don't know where Monkey is. Where's Monkey? Ask Brandi. Why are you here pointing the finger at the nanny?
We know where the nanny's kids are.
We know where the nanny's kids are. Okay? They are alive and well. Where is Monkey, MJ? It's like once again, it's the deflection that Nicole has spoken about. That's exactly what's being done here. All right. So the right reason says, I bet you know what goes on in Brandi's house, right? What's good for Goose, right? Exactly. Mm-hmm. MJ says the right reasons, I do not have access to records on minor children. It is public on the. Okay, we already know that. She discussed that. The right reason says in due time. Ivana says, I'm so sorry for your loss. If she deleted the messages, why are you discussing it? Michael Vaughan. Oh, do you remember Ivana from yesterday, Nicole?
Yeah.
All right, so you're back. So Ivana, I'm discussing it because she had the nerve to comment. It came up in my notifications. That's why. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if she deleted it or not.
Right. And I think the main, I think the main issue or thing that kind of got under your skin, because it's what got under mine, is not so much that she would try to correct you and then maybe realize that it could easily be explained away as in, you spelled it wrong. She tried to correct you, then realized that you spelled it correctly. So she deleted it, but that's not the case.
Right.
And, at this point, if people are talking about Michael and spreading his story and his face, Michael's face stayed on the screen like basically the entire 5 hours last night.
Right.
So it's just the audacity to come on for someone who is giving your missing child
exposure. Right.
Exactly. And pick at something as petty as his name, which was never spelled incorrectly in the first place. And even if it was, she's sharing and they're putting out flyers that are naming a vehicle that is not being looked for by law enforcement, that potentially puts people in real life danger of bodily harm because people think that they might possibly have a missing child in their vehicle.
Right. I agree.
And she's sharing them.
Wow.
So, maybe worry about making sure that his posters are correct and that you're only using the official one from the Fruitland Police Department's website, which they have asked to do.
Exactly. So clearly Nicole here is going more in line with what law enforcement is telling people to do, and she's following their guidance versus Brandi. She's just out there doing her own thing. So
I think Brandi should remember. I think Brandi should sit back for just a second and remember that law enforcement can lie to her.
right.
Law enforcement doesn't have to tell her everything. Law enforcement can lie to her face. Um, you know, um,
What it seems like is she has some close friendships that she has built in that department. You know, that's what it seems like to me.
and there's no knowing whether that's true or not. I hope and pray that she is being played for a fool.
Right.
I hope and pray that she is being played for a fool. Because otherwise that's a much bigger problem.
Right.
Either way, it's going to get sorted out.
And I hope she is. I think that's what's going on. I believe that's what's going on. It has to be. All right. So we'll probably do another 5 minutes or so. Moxie says, I'm telling you, you are trying to deflect Brandi's words, and I'm not talking for it. She said the words, and you are trying to discount what she herself. All right, Chief Girl says, yep, you spelled it correct. Brandi has a lot of other things that she needs to be doing concerning her child other than worrying about the spelling of the name. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking yesterday, too. There were so many other red flags that she should consider versus the spelling.
Go take a polygraph.
Yeah.
Go take a polygraph.
They take a polygraph. Yeah, exactly. Because there was an audio. I think you had it or Crystal. I'm pretty sure it was you, where I heard her pretty much imply that she took the polygraph test, but in the end, it was like she didn't. It was deception around it.
It was like something on the farm, all things on the farm.
Yeah.
And I was very, I have to say, I was very impressed listening to that interview. See, that's the first time that any YouTube creator had I want to say the courage to ask her if they had taken polys. Okay.
Right.
And she said, did you and your husband take a poly? Which is also something I wonder why she never says he's not my husband. We've never been married. But
I was wondering if they were married or not.
No. So, and it's just something small, and I know it's petty, but like, I mean,
right. Just so you have the facts of the case, it's good to know.
Right. But she said yes. And then I hope I'm saying it right. I hope it is all things on the farm. I know it's something on the farm. She said, so, and it was like silent, and you could tell that she was kind of like waiting for her to elaborate. And she said, so you and your husband both took a polygraph test? And she said, yes.
Yeah.
And it was silent again. And then she said, well, Tyler did. I didn't have to.
Right.
So
it was no reason. It's strong red flags. It's a whole bunch of things to question. And Mallory says, I think that's Brandi. So she's saying she thinks that MJ person is Brandi. And I wouldn't doubt it. They didn't come up on panel.
I mean, if someone has...
Oh, she said, Mallory says that account was made today. Mallory researched it and everything. Sounds about right. I told you I felt her energy here. Dope Soul says, what did I miss? You have to rewind it. What did Brandi do now? Oh, she was getting on me for misspelling Michael's name, but I didn't misspell it. It was actually correct. If anything, she misspelled it. Jeep Girl says, Mallory Young, which one? Okay. All right. I don't want to hold. Nicole, is there anything else you want to say?
I'm trying to see if I see anything here just really quick. I don't guess. I'm no longer responding to or even answering questions or anything from Ivana or this MJ, unless they'll get on a panel. They can get on this panel. I can have a panel. They're more than welcome to come to a Twitter space.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do the hide behind and ask questions. First of all, some of them are leading questions like I'm a dumbass.
Right.
To have people admit things that are that are illegal, which was almost what MJ did.
It's changing the focus of the entire
It surely is. And I
subject.
think debate is good. Debate is good, right?
Yeah,
Debate,
exactly.
someone on my team, she was also called a Twitter weasel. She's the one with the Australian accent. I love her to death. We never agree.
Right.
And she is like the person that I come to every time for a case because we don't agree. So we have a debate. And usually something really good comes out of it, or a new idea, or a possible lead, or a way to dig. So I'm up for debate. But I'm not gonna do it with an anonymous account that doesn't want to answer questions, only ask them.
Right.
And from here on out, I'm just gonna call everybody Brandi.
Right. Exactly. Also, I was gonna say, okay, I forgot my train of thought right there, but yeah.
it's just crazy to me. It's just the whole thing's crazy to me. At this point, it's my heart breaks. My heart breaks for your son, Brandi. My heart breaks for him.
Mm-hmm. Ivana is asking a question: why would law enforcement ask the nanny to take a polygraph and not Brandi if they both weren't there?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're assuming, and it's hilarious that law enforcement would not ask Brandi to take a polygraph. I mean,
I think
come
it's
on.
about time. I mean, she should have had enough time to study how to pass one by now anyway.
I'm not FBI, but matter of fact, I could probably find out and get an answer from FBI, because I do not believe that, number one, she wasn't asked to take one. See, first of all, they're voluntary. They don't say, we're going to polygraph you. It's, would you be willing, and we can't use it in court, but would you be willing to take a polygraph test?
Right.
And guess what? The question is made because the answer in itself is part of that investigative tool.
Right.
So, for instance,
Makes
would you
sense.
be willing to take a polygraph? We can't use it in court. Or if they just say, would you be willing to take a polygraph? If the answer is, well, you know where I was, so I don't need to. Or it was, well, those things aren't accurate. Or it was, well, you can't use it in court anyway, so I don't see the point.
Right.
All of those
doesn't make sense.
They're all red flags. All
Yeah,
three of
because
those.
to me, if I know, I'm in a case such as that and my kid's involved, first thing I'm thinking, like, okay, sure, fine, let's go take it. Get me off that list. I know daggone well I didn't do anything wrong, so I'll go there immediately. Okay, clear my name. Whatever we can do, as much things as we can do to get my name cleared, and we can focus on finding the real suspect here.
And also, we don't know the timeline. Okay,
Right.
we don't know, because again, the Fruitland Police Department, their latest update, which is what we're supposed to go off of, because the others were removed, because this one that remains is the only one that is accurate. Okay,
Right.
does not list the time that he went missing. So we don't know the timeline. Law enforcement knows the timeline. I would be shocked to think that Tyler or Brandi know the actual timeline. So to say, well, I was at work, I don't need to take one. Well, when were you at work? You were at work at 12:30. You were quite literally, older sister goes to band camp. You, Tyler, Grandpa remained in the house when you
Right.
left. You were one of the last people to see him alive and well in your home.
Right. Wow.
So, it's, again,
I can't wait till everything comes out, because those
Same.
are excellent points you bringing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And even if she was, let's say for instance, did they question on her, like, did she leave for lunch when she was at work? What time
Correct.
did
I
she
mean,
leave? Yeah.
exactly. And so something that that was said, she says, when I called on my lunch at 4:13, okay, I said, did you speak to Michael or hear him?
Right.
And she said, yeah. I said, what was he doing? He was sitting there playing on his Nintendo Switch. And she told me that, he said he loved her and this and that. And I still was inclined to believe her until I found out that the entire story told on Chris McDonough of what was said to all the children and who was present when she left the home was a lie. So we're talking a story about a conversation, and it was a lie. So am
Wow.
I to believe that at 4:13, you know, that the conversation did go the way that she says that it was? I don't know. I know experience tells me I've heard a lot of lies
Right. Right.
and detailed ones.
I would love for Chris McDonough, to look at the live from last night and kind of go back and do another interview with her, and
I
ask
find it
all,
very
all the
interesting
right
that nothing's been
questions.
said by Chris McDonough.
I know, I know. I find it very interesting as well. Even some of the footage that, or the recording that we had prior to them going live or doing that interview, it
Mhm.
kind of it kind of drew. She seemed like she was almost being coached in a way on what to
Mhm.
say or what not to say, which was confusing to me. But yeah. So I would love to see him do a follow-up interview with her and the family.
I would love to get a hold of Kendall Ray because uh, Brandi said that she was supposed to be having a interview with her, and I mean she's got a very large following.
Right, right. I know who she is.
In
One of
March.
the larger true crime. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was supposed to be in March. So I'm just almost curious if that was a pacifying answer or if we're going to see her on Kendall Ray soon. I mean, I know people that have notifications turned on just in
Right,
case.
right. But even when, even if she is on Kendall Ray, I'm not going to say this, but some people do live for exposure and attention. Not saying Brandy's one of them. I'm saying I don't know, guys. I don't know who she is or how she is. I know what she has presented us in public, but I've known some people in my lifetime and growing up that they're very dramatic. They like to act. They like attention. They love their 15 minutes of fame. And not saying Brandy is one of the people. I'm just saying I don't know. I'm paying attention. So, because with her going on Kendall Ray can definitely give the case great exposure, but it's what's going to be done after that, and
Hmm.
actually finding Michael and putting this case together and touching places that we haven't touched before. Also, have they done a border search? I don't believe they did, right?
They did. It was, I almost want to say it was like 29 miles. Yeah, 29 miles
Oh
of
wow.
the
Okay.
river and the shore. And, I'm just going to throw this out there. So, uh, Tyler is familiar with that river. So when they first started talking about searching the river, apparently like it's a very fast running river, um, easy to get swept away. You could be like anywhere very quickly.
Hmm.
And apparently he has experience with the river. I would be absolutely lying if I told you the exact year. I could find it, but not as quickly as I'd like to. Let's just say, for shits and giggles, 2007. Okay.
Right.
In a boat or a raft or whatever of like 9 or 10 people, and it flipped over. And I was told that Tyler pulled them all out of the water, out of that river.
Wow.
So in terms of knowing how to navigate the river, knowing what to expect about its conditions and stuff,
Right.
that's just something to kind of throw out there.
Right. That's definitely excellent information. I think that's important information as well, and that would be key information during an investigation for someone to know. Yeah. So do you know, you said that the last search was pretty much the last search that you know of. Do you know if she's pushing to do any more searches, or is she?
She is not.
Okay.
She is not.
And like I said, even when people really don't want it done, they'll go ahead and pretend. They might not push them too much because they really don't want it done, but they'll say something just so they said, so they'll be able to say, hey, I tried, but, they said no,
Right.
But if you're a mom that has a missing child and you really want to figure out what's going on and you don't have any guilty knowledge, or you don't know what really happened, you're gonna be on their steps when the door is closed, crying your eyes out. Like, somebody needs to do something here. So,
or how about, instead of, and then this is just another suggestion, walking around posting flyers. Okay.
Right.
That's great. That's, yeah, his flyers need to be up there. But,
Right.
but what about going to news stations? What about gathering community members and going to news stations and begging them to give you a platform to scream and raise your voice and have a voice for your child and beg for him home?
Right. I'm feeling
Beg for
like,
searches, beg for Amber Alerts, beg for whatever. I mean, you wouldn't be like,
because that would be productive, Nicole. And passing out flyers in a way is passive. And flyers are important, yes, but you're not building a community of people that are going out their way to do whatever it takes to put all the clues together and figure out stuff and to find him and to go to, XYZ to ask those important questions. It's not that would be more productive to do what you're saying. Flying
yeah.
out, passing out flyers, that's more passive, but it also shows that, hey, you care, you want your child's name to be out there, but what's really happening in the background, not too much. My thoughts.
And I just looked at that comment, Doxy's comment about Noah and Amber Claire. I think we touched on this yesterday. There were unflattering things about that case. And they did not care. There were unflattering things about their family that they didn't care. Even the
Right.
situation itself, they just didn't care. What they cared about was bringing the kids home, and they screamed and they fought. Like I said, there was someone on the team there that was in legal. I can't even think of the word. But she was a legal whatever she was, and like she would
Right.
go with them. I don't think she was yet a lawyer, but like almost. And
Like
so
a
she would go.
paralegal.
Yeah, I guess so, like that.
Okay.
And she would go with them to the police station. She would meet with them to go talk to whoever it was they needed to talk to. They even now have a Facebook page going, at least a Facebook page going, where they constantly um, bring awareness to missing kids. They're working on Amber Alert reform. Just very vocal, very appreciative people, very available people. They were put themselves in the spotlight to be under scrutiny to find their child slash nephew slash, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So, and here we are Okay. We are hanging posters and yelling at people for talking.
For talking.
Right.
And discouraging searches.
This one is a time for searches.
Quit mocking me.
There's
Quit
Mr.
mocking
Carrot.
me.
Did he ask for milk? I thought
Yes.
Actually, no.
Yeah. I'm gonna mute myself while I get him.
I'm gonna mute.
Okay.
Would you be quiet?
All right, guys. So I'm hoping we're down the comments, but I'm gonna read a few. Go on panel, Ivana. We would love to hear what you have to say. We would love to hear your voice, Ivana. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. Here you go. Here you go. What you have to say is important, and there you go with the StreamYard link. Moxie says your questions are purely for the purpose of deflecting and discrediting Ivana. The rest of us care about the information. You care about discrediting information that came directly from Brandi. Exactly, Moxie. Thank you for stating that so well. Thank you, Mallory. Oh, Mallory has the link. I love you, babe. Mallory is on it always. Dope Soul says, millennial correct, and no accountability for their own actions. Jamie Dene. Is that Dene? I like that name. Jamie Dene. That is nice. Obviously, Tyler can't, since he's been in hiding for almost a year. He's been really quiet about the situation for some reason or another. Jeep Girl says, Tyler can't talk, remember? Oh my God. Millennial says, will the real Ivana please stand up? Please stand up, Ivana. And MJ, quote unquote, Brandi, you disappeared, honey. Is that the energy of Brandi that I was feeling earlier on the live? I said, Brandi's here. I feel you. Are you gonna comment again tonight after I close out the chat as your real profile? Mallory Young says, and then we have to get back on here with another live. Please don't do that, Brandi. Okay. Mallory Young, if you have something to say, just say it right now under your real username, Brandi. Thanks for the love, Mallory. Tammy Cook says, Jeep Girl, he is so busy working to support their family. Yeah, he's doing it all. How do you know that, MJ? That isn't public record, right? Don't deflect. We're not talking about her right now. A lot of people have their issues they're going through. We're talking about, she was not there when he went missing. The nanny came after. All right. How about that? Bonnie says, I wonder if MJ and Ivana have ever been in the same room together. I believe so. Guys, am I at the end of the list?
I see a lot of my Twitter people made their way over here, so they'll just keep on asking and asking until cut everybody off. Trust me. We need to have a Twitter space.
Yeah.
Have you been in a space yet?
No, I haven't. I just learned how to play yours, and I'm like listening. I'm like, all right, I think I just pressed the play button. I'm trying to figure out what's going on and what the pauses are for. But I'm like, I guess that's Twitter because only one person can speak at a time.
You'll have to join. It's basically a live call, but everyone listens. You can only have like 10 speakers at a time, but we all take our turns. And
I like that though, because everybody is basically on panel in a way.
Yeah. And we do pretty good usually of going like back and forth. And you can like react. It's nice, but things usually get brought up and it's good, but I think we do need to have another one here because and you want to know something that's crazy. So
and I would have more people on this live too. My Facebook, they disabled it because they were sending me a reset code, and I forgot I blocked Facebook text because I was getting too many of them. So I kept pressing that I didn't get that code, and it was going to my blocked messages. So now it's telling me I have to wait another 24 hours. So I'm locked out, and it
Well, and
locked
like
me
I
out
said to
yesterday.
you, I told you that though. I mean, it was after you made your first video about this.
Right. Hi,
So this
Crystal.
happens to everybody.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Not a problem. I actually came on because everybody keeps asking about Brandi saying it was a waste of time. So I pulled up that clip and I was going to play it if you're okay with that.
Yeah, of course. Anything you want to do. I'm always happy to hear what you have.
All right. Let me.
I might have to add, YouTube guys, unlike Twitter, YouTube, they're big on thumbnails. YouTube, like, they live by thumbnails, supposed to. So I may edit and put you guys' photo on this thumbnail and later on today. Thanks for popping in. I really appreciate it.
Oh, see, I don't know anything about that. Well, at least now I know.
Yeah, they have me spend so much time making a thumbnail because supposedly that's like one of the number one things to, I guess we'll see.
All right. I'm not going to play the whole thing because the Spaces is like 4 hours long. But Nicole, Nicole says, can we organize a search party for people to come there and search for Michael and, just like a community search. And this is what Brandi says.
Okay.
If snow's clearing, we can check woods. We don't always.
That's her friend Jamie.
And go look for him. The weather's finally getting better here, but out here in Idaho, it's like first spring, and now we're gonna have another winter, and then our real spring's gonna come. So I just don't want, like, I don't want anybody to waste their energy on what we've done for the past 225 days. We can go elsewhere. I'll walk with everyone. If you feel we need to walk our fields again, we can do it. Please jump in anytime. But there's no waste of energy. You're trying to find a lost child. There's never going to be wasted energy. I would walk through there and I had posters on my feet. I can't find it. No, but I think what she also, I just want to say, is that when she heard, Shanie's story about, the spending the money, it really touched Brandi. She felt, it made her feel really bad. So what she means by waste, it's not like waste their time on anything like for Michael or anything in that sense. It's more like spending the last of what they have and being without, because she would hate for somebody to be without. I've come to know her, and she would really give you the shirt off her back. And to be honest, if there was an organized search at this point, 7 months later, it probably wouldn't be, probably with you being there, Brandi, probably wouldn't be a good idea. And if you can get a group of 100 people to search for him, I think it'd be beneficial. And I don't see where anybody would think they're wasting their time. But Mike wants to talk. He's been waiting for me to shut up for quite some time. Yes.
Hey everyone, how's everyone doing this evening?
So there's that.
Wow.
Yeah. It made my stomach turn. That's a second time.
Yeah, I felt nauseous.
Yeah.
So she is fighting against putting in the work to search for Michael.
Well, she did say that we could search elsewhere.
Right.
But
Right. But to say that it's a waste of time.
Absolutely.
You know what? A lot of times, guys, you remember when they found Michael Laundrie's body? They had walked past that area multiple times. And that's a lot of times where they do find people, where they search multiple times. So for your child, I don't care how long it takes and how many times you have to go in circles. And yeah, it's always good to go to different places as well. But, don't say that anything is a waste of time. No. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel very nauseous.
I did. I was just about to say the same thing. I don't even want to.
Thank you for playing that so much, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
You're welcome.
And Crystal, so earlier, before you came on, there was an MJ in Alive who we suspect was Brandi, and she was, she was turning or deflecting from the subject, and started talking about, well, what about the nanny's children, and haven't they been taken away? And we're talking about Brandi right now, right? But something that they brought up was that it is not easy for Brandi to get, not that it's easy. They made it seem like it's a challenge or it's impossible for her to get an Amber Alert out on her child. And I forgot what you stated about that yesterday, but I wanted to know if you could weigh in on that.
Well, so it's going to be difficult to get an Amber Alert because, as you know, of course, it's suggested criteria and for, requirements that need to be met for an Amber Alert to be sent out. But I personally myself reached out to a retired FBI agent, and I spoke to her about it. And then I figured out when the city council meeting was for Idaho, for her to go in front of the city council people and speak to them about getting an Amber Alert for her son, or why there wasn't one, or what she could do, or, something. And
Right.
I went to the NCMIC website. I pulled all of the graphs, statistics, everything for her. I told her there were 2 different dates in 1 month, and I told her, I said the one's tomorrow, so probably not a great idea. I said, but there's one in 2 weeks that you could probably do, and she's like, oh yeah, definitely. So I told her, that the letter that you have to submit has to be turned in the week prior, so you would have to write the letter by next week. And she's like, okay, I can do that. So then I told her, I went and told the former FBI agent, and she said, I would love to fly down and advocate for her, for Michael, if she would let me. So I reiterated that to Brandi. I told Brandi, and Brandi was like, oh, that's an amazing idea. Please let her know. And so, I let her know. And then the day before the letter was due, I said, have you done the letter yet? And she says, no, I just don't think right now I can do it. I just don't think I can do it right now. And so
Wow.
I felt like an idiot. And then I never said anything to the retired FBI agent, because I was like, I wasted her time, with her waiting to find out, the dates and stuff. I'm just glad I didn't give her an actual date and she booked a flight to fly there. And then, to be, that would have wasted her time and money. And, I just, so I definitely tried. I definitely pulled everything, and I have obviously receipts to back that up too, if need be, that shows that I did try to do that as well.
Right. And I remember we discussed this yesterday, but I forgot the details of it all to better explain it to MJ, who was, like I said, probably Brandi. But yeah, I would have loved. I'm glad that you clarified it now for everybody who's in the live. So thank you for that. So she had the opportunity to do something, and she didn't.
And I mean, ultimately, she still has the opportunity to do something. There's city council meetings every single month. All she has to do is write a letter and submit it, and she could still do that.
Right. And she hasn't.
I mean, it's been almost 8 months, and I don't see it happening now, but she could still try.
Exactly. I mean, you guys have tried everything you could on this case. So, of course, we would expect her to. And, she hasn't.
And then, another example, a group of us on Twitter looked up all of the governors and, the mayors and ISP and all of their emails, and, we posted them all, and everybody on Twitter started emailing them. We all were emailing them daily, every day, calling them.
Wow.
Kind of the same thing that they did for Noah and Amber. We kind of just followed suit with what we saw happening with them, and we were like, let's try it. So we were doing that, and then people were asking about, scars or medications, and because a different alert could have been issued, and at least an alert would have been issued, and they didn't get responses. The smaller group got responses, but the bigger community that was putting out all of their time never got responses to scars, marks, medications and stuff. And I was just
Right.
kind of like, why would you not want the public to know, like, minor things like that? Like, that's not going to hurt anything if he has, that's going to help if somebody sees him to be like, oh, there's that specific mark. That's him. We need to call this in.
Those are very important. Yeah, they need to know about those marks, those birthmarks. You know, if it's an adult, it's a tattoo they're identifying. So
Right.
for her to not want to give it, again, it draws another red flag. And she's been asked multiple times too. It's not like she's been asked only once. So she's not cooperating for some reason, to a certain extent. Hello, Regina. Thanks for being here. All right, guys. So let me know if there's any comments that you want to address. That's in the chat.
Not today.
Okay. Yeah, because there was a slew of them last time.
Well,
yeah.
I didn't really tweet today. Harsh Reality put out a new video, and I kind of been letting that sink in. But I like to be more purposeful. There are so many things that I want to say. There are so many things that I could say. But there are also a lot of things that, in order to find and get justice for Monkey, can't be said. So it's best I keep my head straight and have time to think about it. But I'm sure once my next Twitter, I don't even know. My brain, I'm sorry. I absolutely feel sick right now. But here soon I'll be
I'm just seeing through the audios. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought of something random again. I'm feeling sick too, because all of the audios that you guys have been sharing, it's like you're fighting for him more than she is.
And that was public. I mean, that was on my Twitter space with 200. There was 200 people on there.
Yeah, us YouTubers didn't know about this though. Like, we're in a different world, So we needed you guys to bring this to light.
Yeah, here soon I'll spam everybody's Twitter with some stuff about Monkey, and
yeah, guys, you can
keep the pressure.
You can find Nicole Marie and Crystal on Twitter. Nicole, you can give your what do you call it? Is it profile name or your handle?
Oh, Sleuthy Goosey. I can write it.
Sleuthy Goosey. She'll write it in the chat. And Crystal, what's your handle again? Are they called handles on Twitter?
They are.
Okay.
I don't. What is that? I don't know.
You don't
Her
know?
handle. Hers
I
is
think
like
it's confused and dazed.
Yeah, confused and dazed.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. It's confused without the D, and then I'll type it out. I was like, wait, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
But all I can say is that it's working. It'll keep working. Pressure burst pipes, and we have to keep the pressure. And we'll find Monkey and justice for Michael.
Yes, we will. And I can't wait, because I know one day we all will be out there in the field together. We're gonna have boots on the ground, though. We're gonna have some boots on there, and we're
I know that's right.
Yeah, work some of these cases and bring justice. I just can't wait till we're on a case together and we bring these kids back home safe, or into loving hands safe, wherever that is, So thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You guys have a beautiful night. And I do have our thumbnail already complete. I just have to change it. I'm going off of the YouTube rules.
I should read them before I get booted, before I get to start.
No. All right. Talk to you guys soon.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.